Hey, welcome to a new episode of Trailer Talk. I have some cool trailers today, some of the ones from that Nintendo Direct, and some others I just kind of want to talk about. So you know what to do. Thumbs up if you like Trailer Talk. Please try to spread the word. And please leave a comment below on anything you see in the trailer. Are you going to get one of these games? Or comment on any trailers you would like to see me talk about. I know there was that new... what is it called? Overwatch game from Blizzard. The trailer was like really long, so I couldn't quite fit it in. But if y'all really want to see me talk about it, I'll put it in a future episode. Anyways, let's get started. Oh, look, it's a trailer for a Nintendo game. For the 3DS. This is actually a game that I've never finished, even though I've finished most games in this series. It's because, you know, I kind of have some trouble with the time constraints. It stresses me out. I don't really like that. It doesn't make me feel good. That's why I never finished it. Also, it's just, you know, not one of my favorites. It's more about, you know, doing side quests for townspeople that talk way too much and way too slow. But it's a game I've always admired in its concept, and I'm hoping that the new 3DS remaster of Majora's Mask will be a game that I'm actually driven to finish. You know, Ocarina of Time was a game that was, you know, actually enhanced, you know, quite a bit by the 3DS version. Some of the stuff that was really frustrating before, like the Water Temple, which is a temple I really like, was actually made a lot better in the 3DS version because the interface was way easy. It's all on the touchscreen. You could just tap the iron boots to take them on and off, and, you know, hopefully, you know, with the masks and stuff, that'll make, you know, this game a lot easier to just, you know, get through some of that kind of interface stuff. I also heard they're planning to make some tweaks to make it a little more accessible. I don't quite know what that means. Maybe they plan to change the awkward save system, but I will likely pick this up and finally finish this game for the first time. I know a lot of people really like this one. Hopefully I will by the end of it. Also, there's like 4 dungeons in this game. You know, granted, I've only done like 2.5 of them, but they don't strike me as like crazy memorable. Oh, we're already in the next trailer. Okay, so this is Kirby's Rainbow Curse, which I am very, very excited about because Kirby's Canvas Curse is one of my favorite games on the original DS. My only concerns, I love this game. You control him with the touchscreen, you're drawing lines. It's actually a fucking brilliant game. It's one of the best DS games and one of the best reasons that the DS was a unique system at the time. But the thing about what worries me about this game is that was a long time ago. That was like 2005 or 6 when the first one came out. And that was back before Nintendo had, you know, started the Wii era. And along with the Wii era came really fucking easy Nintendo games. Embarrassingly easy. And the original Canvas Curse is actually quite difficult, and that's what made it so thrilling, I feel like. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's what made it so thrilling. But now everything's fucking easy. A Link Between Worlds, I didn't die once. As great as that game was, it was embarrassingly easy, and that did a real disservice to it. If this game is really easy, I'm going to be hugely bummed. That co-op seems cool, where you can, like, you know, one dude is like playing a regular platformer, running on the lines and shit. That seems cool, and it's coming out in February. I'm excited. I'll definitely be picking this up. What are the chances that it's actually going to be a difficult game? What do y'all think? Let me know below. Is it slim to none? I know that Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze game is pretty challenging, but I feel like outside of Donkey Kong, it's all just cakewalks. Especially Kirby. Alright, now we got a trailer for Tekken VII. I gotta be honest, I was expecting a little more in terms of newness. This kind of looks like Tekken 6, but prettier. And there's some new mechanics. Let me turn down the volume a little bit, because we don't understand what this Japanese guy's saying. I think he's explaining some of the new systems and whatnot. I've read up a little bit on this game. Oh, by the way, I'm a long-time Tekken fan, but I haven't really taken the series very seriously over the past few entries. But some of the new, so it looks like, you know, they have all the, you know, it has all the the scene, like the ground breaking and the wall knocking off of walls and the bound system from Tekken 6 and Tag 2. This seems like a new thing. Apparently you have various moves that I'm forgetting the term, but they just sort of, you know, attacks will kind of go through them. You know, kind of like Juggernaut or the Hulk in Marvel vs. Capcom, right? Where a lot of them, they'll just eat a lot of damage, and their big strong move will just go through an attack. Seems to be a new style of move in this game. Here's these new characters. They seem okay. Honestly, seems a little like the new characters for Tekken 6. They don't seem all that crazy different, but I don't know. I know that lady only kicks a bunch. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. It reminds me a lot of those moves in Street Fighter 4 that kind of did that. I think they kind of did that. After a certain point, you would just eat your opponent's attacks, but it wouldn't stop your own attack. There's a term for that I'm just forgetting right now. I think it might be okay. There's also like special moves now. I don't know if these types of attacks are the special moves, but it's like, you know, straight up 2D fighter style special moves, which is super weird, very new for Tekken. And honestly, most 3D fighters, I know like Soul Calibur has a little bit of that stuff, but it's really just kind of like really flashy unblockables, I think, in that series. These are actual, like, meter-based special moves, I think. And I guess they're kind of showing off some of the ranking system and stuff. This will come to arcades in Japan. From what I understand, for, like, the longest time, Tekken has been, and maybe still is, one of the most popular fighting games in Japanese arcades. So I'm not surprised that they're kind of taking a step forward in terms of, like, you know, the ranking system and whatnot. It looks nice. It looks like Tekken though, you know. Like Tekken 4 after the first tag was kind of a huge departure. I was kind of expecting them to go that route with 7 a little bit, but it seems pretty straightforward. I'm just glad that I can play Tekken again without, you know, spending the time to really learn that tag system from that last game, which was kind of, you know, the reason I didn't casually screw around with it much. But I like one-on-one fights. Well, except back in the original tag, which is like my favorite fighting game ever, but it was a lot simpler back then, you know, tag combos and whatnot. Anyways, turn the volume back up. This is a trailer for Pillars of Eternity, which is a game I'm very much excited about. You know, these Kickstarter CRPGs have been all the rage, and I enjoyed the hell out of Divinity, and I didn't play too much of Wasteland 2. I planned to, but that seemed really cool as well. And this one is from Obsidian, and it's a throwback to all the Infinity Engine games, and it looks beautiful. My only concern is, you know, that it pretty much has that same style combat, pause-based combat that the Infinity Engine games had, which, you know, you know, it's why I didn't love a lot of those games that were these real-time pause-based. But I'm sure this is going to be modern enough to where, you know, I'll probably enjoy it a little bit more than I did back in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. But I doubt they're going to have that great tactics menu that, you know, Dragon Age Origins had that turned that combat into something exceptional. Word on the street is Dragon Age Inquisition doesn't have it either, which is a huge fucking bummer. But hey, it's Obsidian. I'm sure there's going to be some really cool characters and some cool gray area in terms of, you know, morality. Just good writing and stuff like you expect from Obsidian. I don't know when this thing's coming out. It was supposed to hit this year, but I think it's going to hit early next year, and hopefully it's not an early access game and it's just a real fucking game. Like nothing is these days. I don't know. Anyways, our last trailer is one of my most anticipated games of 2015. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I'll show you why.
London, a modern utopia. Thanks to
Codenamed s.t.e.a.m. which is a pretty lame name. But this is an Intelligent Systems. This is a new series by Intelligent Systems, which is one of my favorite developers because they're responsible for Advance Wars, one of my favorite strategy game series, and they're also responsible for Fire Emblem, which is pretty damn good as well. And they're making a new strategy series, and that strategy game just happens to look a hell of a lot like Valkyria Chronicles, which is another one of my favorite games. So I can't wait. You know, it's very Valkyria Chronicles, but it has this cool, you know, old school comic book style.
What a shit. She's called the Lady Liberty.
And it's pretty strange.
President,
the president's Abraham Lincoln. It's a steampunk Abraham Lincoln. I don't even know. Which is, hey, that's great. The writing's usually pretty good in Intelligent Systems games, so maybe this will be pretty funny. So the gameplay's a lot like Valkyria Chronicles, where you kind of move, kind of Valkyria Chronicles meets XCOM, where you kind of, you know, it's turn-based, but you select your unit, but then you run around the battlefield in real time, and the enemies aren't moving when you do, but they can shoot kind of reaction fire as they see you. But when you're aiming and whatnot, it's all pulse. It's very much like Valkyria Chronicles. But you can kind of actually actively set Overwatch very much like XCOM or whatnot. And it seems like there's a lot of classes that have a lot of, you know, varied kinds of attacks and whatnot. And, you know, I hope the level design's really good and stuff, because I feel like a lot of strategy games kind of, level design's kind of an afterthought. It's more just about the encounters and what you're fighting. I like strategy games, strategy RPGs that have very memorable level layouts and whatnot. I know there's going to be some limitations because it's a 3DS game, but I have high hopes. This is pretty cool. This lion class can actually kind of pounce on enemies and use that to get around the environment, which seems really cool. And can stun groups of enemies, which is always useful. And there's classes like snipers and whatnot and stuff. But, I've actually seen some pretty extensive preview video footage, gameplay footage of this game, and they seem to really put a lot of care into differentiating the classes from one another. This one's new. Doesn't he have like a, oh, he has a slingshot, steampunk slingshot. Oh, he could set traps. That's always cool. And of course, President of the USA, Abraham Lincoln.
Now getting underway.
I wonder if
Good. Now,
slavery is going to be a thing in this game, you know, because it's Abraham Lincoln. It abolished slavery. I don't know. Codename S.t.e.a.m. Again, not a game that maybe some of y'all are excited as much as me about, but I'm definitely super excited. I don't know.